Oh, welcome to the Awakening Potential Show, where we dive into stories, tools, and strategies to unlock your extraordinary self. And I'm your host, Karen Verdoff, and I'm here to support you stepping into those bold, sassy confidence, your classy wisdom, and your badassy boldness. This show is a gateway to creating ripples out there in the world and making a difference in so many people's lives in the world of transformation, in your life, in work, and in the world. And let's awaken your potential and spark the magic within you. Today, I'm thrilled to be here to support you, understanding what the Tranquil SOULutions Clarity Tool is all about. I've had so many people asking me, like, what is it and what's possible with it and how did you start it and all of those good things that go along with it. So I am going to pull up the questions that we've received thus far, and let's see if we can start. What inspired me, as I said, what inspired me was coming from a space of believing I wasn't enough, believing I was stupid, and I had nothing to offer. And who am I? I was a doormat. And then all of a sudden, divorce came, and it was like, who am I to my 3 children? And what am I teaching them sitting in a victim role that kept me perpetually going over and over and over again in victim? And the challenges just kept coming up more and more and more. And I wasn't getting anything accomplished until one day, Cliff, my paralegal, I'll never forget him. He was such an amazing gentleman. And he said to me, Karen, it's costing you cha-ching every time you're on the phone crying and whining to me, which I did a lot of back in the day. It cost me a small fortune, to say the least. But he said, more importantly, you're going to go before the courts with this case. And you holding out and your former holding out is not supporting anything, and they're going to decide what's going to happen to your children. Is that what you want? And all of a sudden it was just like bells went off in my head, and I sat down and I started thinking, like, wow, like, who am I being? More importantly, if I'm my children's first teacher, whom am I being to them in particular? And what am I teaching them first and foremost? So the Clarity Tool wasn't even a concept at that particular time. I started throwing myself into communication courses, and I promised myself, I will never, ever, ever be out of communication again with my children, with anybody else. Am I perfect at it? No, but I have tools, right? We don't know what we don't know until we gain the skill set. So all this time I was thinking I was stupid. I wasn't stupid. I just had a nursing skill set and a mothering skill set and a wife skill set. Well, at least I thought I had the wife thing down pat. But, we always have room to expand and to grow. So fast forward, I started, my former sister-in-law said to me, Karen, you'd make a great coach. And I remember people used to call me Dear Abby as a kid. People were always coming to me with their problems. Well, I figured there's got to be a better way of refining that. I don't want to deal with people's problems. But in nursing, one of my biggest questions that kept coming up to me as a creative problem solver and somebody who loved puzzles, it always came up to me like, how can I look at this as a puzzle, number one? What are the solutions that I could find to resolve the puzzle, which would be the challenges and concerns of others? And what would that look like, right? And what would it look like if I were to get to the root cause, even more importantly, of a lot of people's ails? Because remember, I come from a nursing background. And I made it a point once I gave up nursing and found my mother on the floor, surrounded by 19 medications and 3 doctors, and there was no communication and they were masking symptoms rather than getting to the root cause. And I thought, not on my watch, not on my watch, because I didn't see my mother on the floor. I saw a struggling child that just wanted to be seen and heard and loved. And I thought, no, this isn't working. So I started getting into coaching. And from a career of coaching, I thought I was going to be the next Florence Nightingale and save the world, yay me, and realized, boy, was I thwarted with that one. Now I'm going to be the next coaching person to save the world, and I can't save anybody but myself. And I learned that the hard way. And as a result of that, and all of our experiences, right? So even if I were coaching you today, I would always say, go back to your experiences. And what have you learned from those experiences that you can create today with them and be powerful, because you've got that skill already, right? You didn't know how to drive a car until you learned to drive a car, right? Now you get in your car, you don't even think about it. So as a result of that, I started looking at ways and means of how to distinguish myself from others. Because when I went to CEO space out in Nevada, which is like networking on steroids, I had Bernie Dorman. At the time I was living in Orlando. He came to Orlando and he looked in my face and he says, what's going to make you any different than those 10,000 coaches that are going to be there? And my excitement went splat. I just felt my whole self deflate. I felt like it was almost like a failure before I even started. I felt like an imposter, like, who the heck am I? And what's going to make me different? But that very question, the answers are in the questions. And so often we don't ask the questions. We forget to ask the questions, or we don't know what questions to ask. Thus, fast forward, that is really what the crust of the Tranquil SOULutions Clarity Tool is all about. I started at years and years and years of trial and error, the questions to ask, what's going to make the difference, and what's going to tap into the subconscious mind, because even Carl Jung has told us, we're all connected through that thread. So I thought, if we're connected through the thread, how might I serve others and serve myself, right? Because self first. And I'm thinking, what can I create with this? And when I was in CEO space, I saw this program and I sat and I watched it for 6 hours. I was enamored with this gentleman's program. And I thought, I can use it differently. What if I did XYZ? What if, and all of a sudden it started this whole chain reaction. And through 15 years of trial and error, I finally got to a point where it was, yeah, I'm onto something. I am definitely onto something, and I am going to make a difference in the world. And not only am I going to make a difference, but I want to make that difference in an affordable fashion that can be in any home in America, right? Because what is your time worth? What is your value worth? What don't you know that you want to know that you can get instantaneously? What is that worth, right? So I started looking at that saying, ooh, let's play. So for me, this was play work. Well, I think I just answered that one, actually. It reflects who I am, who I've become as a result of the journey, and thus it's an extension of what I've learned, what I've experienced, and what works, right? I took all that didn't work and I said, what can I do to really shift that perception of it not working and create a perception of it that would work, right? So cause and effect, law of cause and effect. So I started looking at that. And that's really what was the biggest reflection of my journey and everything I've studied. I've studied quantum physics, neuroscience, NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, a form of communication. Communication, as I said, Jungian psychology is thrown in there. My framework for the sassy, classy, badassy is also tossed into it. So, amongst other things that I've thrown into it. So, it's years of my training, years of my skill set, and years of everything that I've learned has worked, thrown into one place. And this is a result of it, the Tranquil SOULutions Clarity Tool, which gets you from your head back into your heart. And for those who've been following me and know me, it's all about getting into the heart space, because the heart is a huge organ and it works in unison with the mind. The mind is there more to protect, and that's where the monkey chatter is: protect, protect, protect. When you're in your heart, you get to listen, to be still and listen to what it's saying. And that's your GPS guidance system. So knowing that, I threw that into the program as well. So more specifically, some of the features. So if you look at it side by side, here's ChatGPT and here's the Tranquil Solution Clarity Tool. So the Tranquil Solution Clarity Tool was built with the ChatGPT framework, to be upfront and honest with you, but it's me behind the scenes, right? I had a developer develop this for us specially. Was months of input and getting it right, trial and error, beta testing it for months, and basically constantly shifting and molding it. So the Tranquil Solution Clarity Tool, you tap into your own wisdom, whereas chat will provide more external advice. This is more internal advice with the Tranquil Solutions Clarity Tool. Chat will provide more external. It is AI generated, right? So that comes direct from AI. But what's different about the Tranquil Solutions Clarity Tool, Clarity Tool, it uses more prompts and taps into your intuition. So it uses key components that will automatically turn on your intuition and have you stop and reflect on it. AI is very limited when it comes to encouraging self-discovery, where that's what the Tranquil Solutions Clarity Tool is all about, is 100% supporting you to find your own answers, right? It encourages the subconscious to be engaged. And with my prompts, initiates the hidden insights within you to get it a lot quicker. It doesn't engage intuition. As I said, ChatGPT does not whatsoever, whereas the Tranquil Solutions Clarity Tool strengthens your inner guidance, right? So the other difference was, is technology required? ChatGPT, yes, it is required. With Tranquil Solutions Clarity Tool, no, you can use it anytime as long as you have a Wi-Fi, right? And you can use it on your phone, you can use it on your computer, on your desktop, whatever it is that you have, 24/7, it's yours. Nobody sees your responses but you. And that's what I love about this aspect of it. So you can ask Karen, often a lot of times people I coach are embarrassed to ask questions. And yet, because I have a rapport with them and I create a space of safety, they feel comfortable and confident enough to ask me pretty much anything and everything. But there are certain questions that might embarrass them. And I respect that. And I don't force or push anything. But all of those embarrassing questions that you think people are going to judge, Tranquil SOULutions Clarity Tool will not judge anything. It will be very supportive. It will respond as if you're talking to me. And that's one of the things I really love about this feature. You're not going to get my voice yet, working on that one, but at least you'll get the essence of Karen through this one. It's like a compass going round and round. Have you ever felt like you're so stuck and you don't know, no matter which way you turn, do I go right? Do I go left? Do I go backwards? Where am I? It supports you specifically in finding your own true north. And once you find it within the program, then from that point, we start guiding you. It guides you further into actionable aligned steps. It gives you a summary at the end, and you get to choose whether or not it aligns with you or not. If it doesn't, you get to choose to ask another question, and it'll keep taking you as deep as you want to go. Right? So that's one of the features that I really love about that as well. You can get something really quick and easy, or you can get something deep and insightful. And you can come back to it as many times. You walk away from it, open it up, and come back and ask the same question, or open a new window and start a new journey down that path. Awesome. Yes. So first and foremost, it is on a ChatGPT format. So the ChatGPT app is free. It's going to be more limited with your responses with the free version of it. If you decide to upgrade for $20 a month on ChatGPT, you'll have many uses with it. If you do decide to do that, you can go as in-depth as often as you want with the Tranquil SOULutions Clarity Tool. So basically what that looks like is, and I'm going to pull it up so this way I can walk you through it specifically. Well, I just had a whole conversation with myself. At any rate, when you go to the Clarity Tool, Tranquil SOULutions Clarity Tool, it's going to open up a window. When you press the button in the middle, it's going to open up welcoming you, and then it's going to ask you to set an intention. I set my intention every single day before I start the day. What do I want my day to look like? What do I want it to feel like? What do I want it to experience in it? Because what you speak, you're going to attract. Like what you think about, you bring about. So what do I want to bring about for the day? What clarity do you want, right? That's an intention. So we set the intention. It's going to start prompting you to shift your perception, to change it, to shift it, to reflect on what's coming up for you, give you aligned action steps and a summary. And I'll thank you for being here with us, of course, right? So that's one of the things you could expect with that. And it's a lot of reflective questions that is going to have you think even deeper than you know yourself to be as of now. Yeah. Because if you stress, if you have anxiety, most people who stress are usually people that are reacting quite often than not, rather than responding. And what this tool will do is help you shift that energy, because everything is energy, right? Have you shift that energy into something that's going to allow you to move forward and be very proficient at doing such by the time you're finished. Whether you stop and pause it and come back to it later, you can continue with that particular segment of decision-making challenge, whatever it is that you're going through. You can start a whole new one. No one's going to see it but you. I don't see it. The developer doesn't see it. The tech developer, I should say. Nobody sees it but you, right? So that's one of the benefits of being with this, right? Yes, it's personalized for you depending on how deep your responses are, because it's going to be and go only as deep as you allow it to go. allow yourself to go. So with that being said, feel free to write your responses. Paint a picture. If you were my client after we did the welcoming and got connected and felt safe to have a conversation, I would say to you, like, what inspired you to come see me? Paint me a picture so I get to see in my mind's eyes. If I close my eyes, I can see you in that painting. What would that look like? The same thing when you're typing here. Paint the picture. The deeper you go, the more of a response you're going to get. So what you get put in, you get out of it. That's the gist of it. Let me see. So this clarity tool is designed to support people who are going through relationship challenges, health challenges, career wealth challenges. Everything is interconnected. If I were to put it on a map, which I do for my clients, right? If I were to put it on a map and show you, and you come to me saying my relationship is really sucky, but then we look at everything else, my health is really not good because I'm not really taking care of myself. Poof, right? That's connected. And then, well, it's reflecting in the monies I'm lacking or whatever. Poof, right? So it all becomes connected. That supports clarifying it for you and really pinpointing exactly where it is. It's going to enhance it because we might know a lot, but articulating it in such a way is not always top of mind. This is going to all of the things and the experiences that I had and the NLP and the quantum physics and the neuroscience and the nursing and all of the things from my background, experience and skill sets and Jungian psychology and everything that I've experienced and learned throughout the years, including my sassy, classy, badassy framework, is poured into the design of this program. Thus, you're going to get those kind of responses. Sometimes you'll get a very spiritual response because I've had that training. So, and I've been doing that training since 2010. So you're going to get perhaps a spiritual response. You're going to get a more thought-provoking response. It's going to vary depending on what you put in the questions you ask. It's truly both. It's truly both because you're going to get, if you were to work with me as a one-to-one client, one of the first things I have you do is go out and purchase a journal because there's something between the hand-eye hearing, if you speak it out loud, right? There's something that the brain does. It creates new neural pathways, and you're going to get it on a whole different level with that. Well, anyone who knows me knows I'm not stopping anytime soon. I keep on keeping on. I'm one of those people. So I'm already looking to the future. And one of the things I'm looking at next is creating the accompanying Tranquil SOULutions Clarity Tool journal for those who like to write. Right? So I'm not going away anytime soon. So not that you're stuck with me by any stretch, but I guess what I'm edging at is if you have any questions or anything stops or stucks, I'm all across social media. Feel free to jump on any one of those social medias, put in Karen Rudolph, RUDF with a F, and you're going to get me personally responding to you. You don't get anybody else, me. And so I can answer a question there as well. And feel free to do so. I am going to create a community once we start getting this up and running. We're going to create a community because your experience might be somebody else's challenge. And even though they have the tool to support them, hearing it, right, from another person's perspective makes it human and makes it more relatable, right? So, and then it's a space to share, to feel safe and confident that we're going to learn and grow and move forward together. We are launching May 1st, so I'm really excited about that. And the hard launch is going to be June 1st. Both if anyone's into numerology, both of those numbers are very profound, specific numbers, and are in alignment with who I am, what I'm about, and what I'm doing. So I'm all about setting an intention that way and putting it out there in the world. So I'm excited about that. My favorite feature about the tool is the fact that when you get the responses, it sounds like me. So when I was on the tool the other day and I was having a challenge right before I was getting on my team meeting, I knew I wanted to articulate something, and it was like, oh, I was so in my head in the monkey chatter, and it was like, oh, I have to get grounded in my body, back in my body. And I thought, let me use my own tool, right? I created it for myself because there's a difference between selfish and selfless. And you've got to put on your oxygen mask first. So this was built in essence to be another ways and means for me to get clarity for myself. Because when I'm up here, there's no way you're going to get clarity. You've got to be able to drop it down into your intuitive heart space, and that's where the heart math came in. My experience with heart math came in. So that's put into this tool as well. My favorite part is you're going to hear my voice, in essence, through words, my voice through words. And you might get a little bit of my humor in there. And it could be sort of iffy, but I still like being personable and very heart-centered. So I was so skeptical when, I'll never forget, my Palm Pilot, I'm aging myself now, my Palm Pilot was like my Bible. God forbid anybody took my Palm Pilot or I lost it. But then I had a flip phone, and it was like, here I am carrying around this wad of technology. And the only thing stopping me from moving into a smartphone that was just coming into vogue at the time was I didn't know how to use it. So don't let the fear of not knowing how to use it. It's made so simple. You get I think it's a 17-page instruction manual that you don't need it. It's so self-directive. But for those who like to know, I spelt it all out for you. So it's easy peasy, I promise. As I said, because I've had a nursing background and I see how stress kills, that was one of my main focuses. How might we change the context around stress? Stress creates anxiety. Anxiety creates all the diseases afterwards. So when we shift that energy, what's possible with that, right? So health and well-being, without our health, we don't have wealth. We don't have a healthy relationship. So for me, that's the key starting point, and that's what really inspired me to be here inspiring you. I'm so excited about this tool. I'm so excited that after 15 years, my vision, my heart has finally come to fruition, and I look forward to you experiencing it. I can't wait to hear what your responses are and how it supported and aided you in the interim. And until then, make it an amazing day, and remember that you don't know what you don't know until you attempt something different. So thank you for joining the Awakening Potential show today, listening to my excitement about the tool, the Clarity Tool. And as you step back into your world, remember the bridge from ordinary to extraordinary is built with small steps of change and big leaps of faith. Don't forget to subscribe and share with someone you know where this might make a difference in their lives. Reach out to me. I'm here for you. Till then, stay inspired and make it a fabulous day. Bye for now.